Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Help Nobody Told Me. I'm Jordan Kagan, and I own the Man of Silver. And once again, I am joined by my co-host, the amazing Jasmine Shapiro from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. And today we're joined by an amazing human being, Anna Czech, who in the past year started Hall with a Heart. And
Hall with Heart.
Hall with Heart.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But she has an amazing heart, which I think is really why she got into this providing this needed service.
Yes.
And I can't wait for our viewers and listeners to learn about your business and what it does.
And tell us about your background too. You have an interesting background. Like, how did it lead you to this?
Okay, so I've done many things in my life. Like we talked earlier, I've been a model, I've been on the radio, I've been in corporate America. I was in corporate America for about 20 years where I managed all different types of companies, from real estate to dental offices to a party bus company to manufacturing firms. And it was always me with a lot of startup companies, helping them grow and getting them to be known, usually male dominated. And my last position, I was an HR director at a company that was a manufacturing company, and I got fired for asking the owner to implement yearly reviews and maybe inflationary raises, and he fired me.
Oh my gosh.
And I was so traumatized that I didn't want to work for anybody ever again. And I've spent my life, with a lot of loss and trauma. We lost my father when I was 24 years old. We recently lost my grandmother, and each time I learned that you can take trauma and turn it into good by using it to help people through your experiences. And so when I got fired from the manufacturing company, he's my stepfather, not my biological father, but I call him my dad. He's like, why don't we do this junk removal stuff? It seems like it's making money. And I said, yeah, I think we could do that. But I wanted to be different because it's such an oversaturated industry. And so I thought, well, how can we be different? And I think that a lot of the transactions that occur in the junk removal and home cleanout industry are just such sensitive topics. You're dealing with people who are hoarders, and you're dealing with people who are losing someone, or people who are putting their parents in nursing homes. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to be the first woman-owned, woman-run junk removal company in the industry and home cleanout company. And that's where the idea came from. So it stemmed from my father with his junk removal idea to me wanting to make it a niche and making it woman-run and sensitive.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's no other women-owned junk removal companies in Chicagoland?
In the Chicagoland area, no.
Amazing.
Not as far
Good
as
for you.
Thank you.
So you have taken the oi of trauma.
Yeah.
And working in corporate America and losing people. And for you, it's at least being an entrepreneur. I see the joy. I see the smile. I see the passion. Mm-hmm. So you have found joy.
Mm-hmm. And purpose. Most of all.
Which is so important.
Oh, and it because how long do we live our lives? We never really, I don't think we ever truly find ourselves to an extent. As we grow, we evolve all the time. We're always growing up, and we're always kind of lost in this sea of the world. And this was like the one thing that I felt like I can really utilize everything I've been through and give it to someone.
And Anna, it's so interesting you say that, because all of us, we formed this team.
Yeah.
Because we feel that we want to help people too, and and the podcast is about life transition and getting the message out. And it's not, every episode is not going to be for everyone, but maybe someone will resonate with this one or with any of them.
Yeah.
And it is. I mean, there's so many different topics. We go through so many things throughout our lifetime, right?
For sure. So many transitions.
And we were just talking about the four of us, how we work so amazing as a team together. Mm-hmm. But it's like when you're dealing with an aging parent, someone moving out of their house after 40 or 50 years, often in it, burying a parent, putting a parent in a senior community, moving a parent out of state to be with kids or grandkids that will take care of them. This is all traumatic.
Very.
And no one could do it by themselves. No. It takes a team. quoting Michelle Obama, it takes a community.
Yeah.
And that's what I hear you saying. That's what I reference with our senior resource team and Help Nobody Told Me, because we're trying to give people resources, but also people to realize we have a team here to help people.
Yeah. And another thing that I noticed with these experiences and these transitions people go through, it's often left on the shoulders of one family member. Everyone expects their siblings are going to help, their other families are going to help, and you're left alone. And I want to make sure those people never feel alone. And the first thing I do, and as Jordan and I just, as Jordan pointed out earlier, I come in and I give them a big hug when I see them, because I want them to know that I'm not judging them and I'm there for them, and so they feel like they're family to me, And I have, most of my customers still talk to me on a regular basis.
That's awesome.
And we're very close. So.
Right, and so many times people don't prepare for the traumatic events.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, if you're thinking about moving, you might start kind of going through your stuff and getting rid of things, but if something happens suddenly, you weren't planning for that.
The emotions.
And when you come in, it's like, what happens then? Like, you walk in and they're just overwhelmed.
Yeah, a lot of times they're extremely overwhelmed. They don't know where to begin. It's they have so much going on in their minds that they're trying to deal with, that they have a hard time zoning in on what needs to be done. So my partner and I, we go in and we just create calm immediately. We reassure them that, don't worry, we know what we're doing. So what seems to you overwhelming to us is just another day, and it's okay to feel that way. So yeah, normally we'll come in and they're usually, our customers are flustered to begin with. And then once we get with them to do the project, within an hour or two, they're laughing with us and very relaxed.
Let's talk about that customer. The longest a house was ever vacant before someone called you.
Vacant? I have currently a customer that I'm corresponding with whose house has been vacant for 6 years.
Oh.
Paying taxes.
Oh my gosh.
But they didn't know what to do with everything that was in there.
So that was probably my guess. I've seen 4 years, I heard of 20.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm asking this question, yes, they're paying taxes. They're paying an electric bill and a gas bill and a water bill, so the lines don't freeze in the winter.
Yep.
Probably lawn care and snow removal.
Yes.
And the cost, I don't think you can own a place in Chicagoland for less than $1,000 a month. In the North Shore, it's probably a lot more than that. So 6 years, 12 months, $72,000 sunk. And my message for listeners, because this is emotional, we've talked about emotions and trauma, but people are afraid and overwhelmed, and I want people to realize the longer holding on and not making a phone call isn't going to make it necessarily easier. And probably dragging it on and having a vacant house for 6 years in some ways makes it worse, because you're pushing off the inevitable, and you're also probably going to have shame of holding on to a vacant house that people know for 6 years.
Yeah, but then you get more ashamed because you're waiting more, and it's just this.
It's like this circle.
Yeah, you know, it's a downward spiral, and
Yeah, so I'm so happy to have you once again as a guest. For people to hear, they can hire a team to empty a house, go through important possessions, sort through what is being saved, what's going to be disposed of with you or Mindy Leonard. Depends on what they exactly want.
For sure.
From
And then
super
you were
organized
telling
spaces.
me, and then after the house sells, then you can go back in and remove whatever was used for staging, but the family doesn't want anymore.
We offer. Our company has such a wide range of services. We like to consider ourselves you can do either a la carte service, where it's just you need some furniture picked up, we can do that, we can pick it up. But we can also offer a concierge of service where we can go in, when you're ready for us to come in and help you, we can come in, we help you sort through everything hands-on. I help you make choices, which are hard to make. And then what we do is we sort through everything, we donate things, we haul things for junk. What the real estate agent wants us to keep there, we can move it around, stage the home for sale, and then once the home sells, we can go in and haul the rest. So we're there all the way throughout the entire process.
And your home base, where you're based you live in the Woodfield area, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are licensed and insured throughout all of Illinois.
So some of the unique, more memorable projects you've had.
One of
If
my
you could
most
share.
memorable was a very young girl. She was in her low to mid 20s, and she had been suffering from a mental illness and got very overwhelmed and had a lot in her home. She had a beautiful dog who was very well taken care of, but just was lost. And when I walked into her apartment, she couldn't look me in the eye. She was so embarrassed. And the first thing I did, because she started talking, she started crying, and I just grabbed her, I gave her a hug. I said, I want you to know, I'm not judging you. You don't have any reason to ever be embarrassed with me. And so we did the clean out. We actually did the clean out, and then we deep cleaned her entire home from her. So when she came home, it was the first time she had seen her floors in years.
Wow.
And it was spotless. It smelled good. It was just, and she texted me, she goes, I walked in and I was bawling because for a long time I didn't have a home, and you gave that back to me.
Aww.
Young girl, that just didn't know who to reach out to, and she found me. She's like, I'm so glad I found you.
So did you I know you're not a therapist.
Yeah.
But did you...
There's a lot involved, though.
Yeah, we all feel like we are.
Was there anything done or seeds planted yet, or was it more on her to try to make sure this doesn't relapse or happen all over again?
I've reached out and followed up with her just to know I'm still here. That's as far as I can go. I can't.
Understand.
Yeah.
Right.
But yes, I followed up with her and, hey, how are you feeling? How's it going over there? Trying to get, see how she's feeling. A lot of times when people are dealing with mental illness, they have a hard time talking about it. So I think that she just kind of, it was done and she was happy, and, that was it at that point.
You also deal with many families that are dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, as we age and our brains deteriorate, we're dealing with things like Alzheimer's and dementia. And throughout my experiences with dealing with nursing home transitions, I've dealt in a few cases where we dealt with those types of deteriorations. One thing we've learned, which a lot of cleanout companies and a lot of movers and stuff like that don't understand, is that with dementia and Alzheimer's, familiarity is very important, as is stability. So what I do is I'll take photos of their place before, especially walls where they have photo collages, and I'll try to replicate that in their new unit. So I'll do my best to, obviously they're downsizing, so a lot of stuff goes.
Right.
But we try to utilize the space in a way where it's functional while at the same time replicating where they're comfortable as much as we can. And we did that for a very good client recently too, who said, he was brought to tears.
Aww.
Because his mom, it's been such a scary process moving from place to place, and she's been so confused.
Right.
But that recognition helped her with,
Right.
with her deterioration.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Talk about your stepfather, and he is the one that planted the seed for Hall with Heart.
Yeah.
Talk about me with him, your interactions. He's not just a person that planted the seed. You mentioned about going to do an evaluation, and he was with you.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So Chris is Polish. He understands English very well, but doesn't speak it very much. He also lived in Italy for 17 years, so he speaks Italian fluently. My mom and I found him. We were both in pretty bad situations. We were both in domestic violence situations. Mm-hmm. Me in my own, and my mother in her own. And Chris came, and he was supposed to fix her fence because he's a construction worker. Still not fixed. But he got her out of her situation, and then once she was stable, they came out and they pulled me out of my situation. So Chris has kind of been a guardian angel throughout our lives, and so this also, he knew it was my time, and that's where he planted the idea to me, because he's always been that picture of stability in my life since we found him, so that's how he came. I'm very much the one who does like the marketing and the accounting and stuff like that, and he's the bronze in the company, but we are a team to be reckoned with, because there's really not much we can't do together. We get along very well. We like to make fun of each other and have fun. We're also very respectful. So there's the process we have has just been very natural, and especially because of how comfortable I am with him,
Sure.
And how safe I've always felt with him.
Less than a year you've been doing this?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
How far you have come as a business owner.
Yeah.
You don't have that mental health background, but boy, you've really brought it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. What we call the A game, you know?
Yeah, thank you. I hope to.
So we talked earlier, you were telling me that there's a lot of competition, but
Yes.
not for what you do. You kind
Right.
of carved out a niche. Talk a little about that.
Yeah, so I'm in a lot of junk removal groups on Facebook and stuff because we all like to give each other advice, and it's very helpful. And per my observation, the junk removal industry is very saturated. There's a lot of companies out there. There's a lot of what I like to call guys with a truck who may not even be licensed and insured, that will just come pick up junk and stuff like that. So I didn't want to be just that. Also, coming from a construction background, we're very knowledgeable on how to remove things safely.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we know how to remove a door frame and we know how to, maneuver things in a way that most people, guys with a truck, may not have that background or knowledge. And that was where I wanted to be different, because it's so saturated that you have to if you want to succeed. But any industry you can succeed in if you know how to rise above the rest and show how you're different. When you do that, there is no such thing as a competitor.
Right.
So that's kind of,
And since I am not in the junk removal business, and
But you are in a way.
Yeah,
Yes.
you are.
yes, but one, I think it's important for viewers to know anytime you hire a junk removal person or contractor, insurance is really important. Them being licensed is really important. Because if they get injured on your property, legally you're liable.
Mm-hmm.
So to think you're going to save $15 or $20, you are risking everything to save a few dollars first. And second is, I've seen on some of the groups I'm on, these junk removal people, that the reason they're so cheap, not only are they not licensed and not insured, but they're not going to the dump.
Yeah, they'll just dump stuff in alleys or people's dumpsters.
And potentially, if you're hiring someone that's not doing this legally and somehow what they're removing can come back to you, you're indirectly doing illegal dumping.
Yeah.
Do you ever find interesting things?
We do.
And then do you repurpose anything, or do you just take it to a dump, or explain the process?
Yeah. So our process is that as we sort through things, we do two different piles. We'll do a donation pile and a junk pile. Furniture is different. Furniture, we try to donate what we can, but a lot of places that take furniture are pretty picky right now about what they take. They won't take damage, scratch, stuff like that. We will resell at times too, but we don't do that too much just because I have so much going on already that I don't like to overextend myself. But yeah, we pride ourselves on donating anytime we can, because if you've ever seen these landfills, they're so overfilled right now. I don't like to add to them, so I do whatever I can. Sometimes I'll even reach out on Facebook and ask people if they need things. So we had recently where I had a lot of medical stuff I had found, a wheelchair and walkers, and I asked, hey, does anybody need any wheelchair or walkers? And they went to a good home to somebody who couldn't afford it and needed it. So we always do our best to separate and donate.
Have you ever found anything valuable, like jewelry or silver or anything?
So the funny thing is, a Jewish thing that I found, we have a clean out that we're going to be doing, that I was at the estimate, and the son and I were walking through the home, and then his father was a professor, and they come from a Jewish background, and he bent down and he picked up 2 chalices with the Star of David on them that I don't know yet what they were, but they looked like World War II quality. They were very, very old trinkets, and he's like, you're going to find a lot of these here. So we found historical things. I found love letters that are pretty cool that people didn't even know their parents had.
Wow.
I found things that I don't even know what they are. One was like a Romanian. It looked like a letter opener, but I guess it's some kind of significance to the culture. So we find a lot of cultural stuff.
Do you then go back to
Always.
them and say,
I let them
do they
know.
want to keep it? Or
Always.
They do want to keep
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I always communicate throughout the process and let them know, I'll take a picture and, hey, I found this, I think you should keep it.
Yeah.
Because it looks like an antique and it looks like it might have meant something to your family.
Yeah.
We've found things that have been in their families for generations and generations that they didn't know were there, and it made, it was emotional for them, and it was a great find.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know when I go and I have a listing appointment, and if I see like a silver tea set or something, I usually ask, is this something you're going to hold on to?
Yeah.
And so many times they're like, no, but I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Well, I have a guy for you.
Yep.
But for me, my most memorable, and thank you, but my most memorable was someone I went to high school with. And as we're sitting at a table, there was a box in the middle and 4 sides. So the person I went to high school with that had already lost their parents, the closest edge of the box that I could see, but she couldn't see, I saw something, and I think from my angle I knew what it was. I grabbed it. I didn't want to look at it. I immediately handed it to her. She's like, how is my social security card in here?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you'll never know. But why am I sharing that story? It's because you really have to go through these homes slowly, cautiously, meticulously.
Yeah.
Because it could be a social security card for her that's in this box, and I didn't want to look at her social security number. I've also had someone that found a 1/10 of an ounce gold coin. A 1/10 of an ounce gold coin is smaller than a dime, and today it's worth almost $500.
Yeah. I had I found a little tiny box filled with one of my customer Oliver baby teeth. Yeah.
And did she want to keep them? No.
Yeah, but those
it was among a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But similar to how you found baby teeth, other people have found they inherited gold teeth.
Absolutely.
And I just bought a gold tooth. It was $270 for one gold tooth.
Never underestimate what you find. Those things.
Oh no.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. It's craziness. Yeah.
What it was the baby teeth? Was it like the craziest thing you ever found?
One of. Another one was I found in an attic where it was a pretty big hoarding project. We found a cage, and then we found the bird. And but we're dealing with a lot of animals. I love animals. I've rescued a lot of animals myself. So we found a huge possum in a customer's garage, and she was like, "Can you get rid of it?" And I was like, "Yeah." I went and I took a blankie and I grabbed it and I gave him a hug. No, actually, possums are very clean. No, he was alive.
Oh, he was alive.
Yeah.
But what about the bird?
Oh, the bird was like bones already.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But the possum, I took him out. I took a photo op with him, and then I let him go.
See, Hall with a heart. Heart towards people, families, and animals.
Yep. Love them all. I love animals more than people.
So does it help you that you're a female-owned business?
I think so. I think that the support has just been, especially because we're in a world where powerful women are really starting to emerge.
Yes.
And we're starting to get over competition and learning to support each other more, because we've had so many challenges trying to rise above.
Right.
And so being a woman-owned business, there's a lot of support. There's a lot of women helping women, and I love it. I love all this. I'm so grateful. I'm so lucky and grateful to have all the support I've had from Jordan too, and everybody. I mean, it's just been such a journey.
We met through the Northbrook Chamber of Commerce. We're
Yeah.
both members there. And when you joined, it was like you had been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And you were a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
And you weren't intimidated being the
No.
brand new person. And I think it was the first or second meeting, it was like,
Yeah.
have you been here 10 years or have you been here 2 hours?
Yeah. There's not much that scares me, but
All right. How about a lightning round?
let's do it.
All right. So don't think too much.
Okay.
Just give us your answer. Biggest mistake families make during cleanouts?
Hesitating.
Okay. No hesitation on that answer. One thing people should never rush to throw away.
Gold and silver. Jewelry.
Did you
Silverware.
prompt her on that one?
No, but seriously, yes.
So the last week, how much were you expecting to get for something?
Less than 100.
How much did you get?
$857.
So don't rush things.
Yeah.
Keep everything or edit thoughtfully.
Edit thoughtfully.
Hardest part of your job emotionally?
The way I'm an empath, so when people are hurting, I hurt. So it can take a mental toll on me.
Most rewarding part of your job?
Seeing people see floors for the first time.
And one thing families should do sooner than they think?
Call me.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
This
and
was fun.
we will put all of your contact information in the show notes.
Okay.
And if anybody knows anybody that thinks that Anna could be a help, then share this episode with them and you will get her contact information.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very
You're
much for
welcome.
having me.
Thank you for
You're welcome.
tuning
Thanks for being
in,
here.
and tune in again next week for another episode of
Help Nobody Told Me.